this is project 3, step 4 of chapter 2. I'm looking at page number 53. We are going to talk about a function called, two functions actually, date, and the other one is now. Before we go ahead, I want to just go back to the previous project, which is project 3A, and we calculated the future value of monthly investment for this length of time at this rate. So here, up to these 3 items, 3 cells contain data. So somebody put the number in, and this is the information. And information could be manipulated by manipulating the data. So we call it analysis. We're going to be analyzing this data. So for example, while you went to the bank and they said it's not 9%, it's actually 12%. And so you get better return. So notice that the future value will change as I hit the enter key. So that's, I make about $2,000 more. Or let's say I want to save for just 2 years instead of 3 years. That's 36 months. So instead of 36 months, I'm going to save it for 24 months. That's 2 years. And I get that much money. And again, if I wanted to save more money, so let's change that to $22,000, and then the value changes. So depending on what you put it in the data, you get different value or return value with the formula, and that's how you analyze the data. All right, now come back to project 3B, 3C, date and now functions. All right, so dates are kind of a different animal in a way. It's a different category of data. So we cannot really calculate, for example, January 1st and March 1st and so on. But we do need to sometimes. For example, we have this table with customers and their account number, and that's the amount they purchased but hasn't paid yet. And we'll put the purchase date, and then we'll figure it out the due date and so on. So, all right, let's put the purchase date using the date function. So instead of like a 3/12 or 12/20/12 and things like that, we'll use special functions so that we can do more manipulation and get more meaningful information out of it. So we'll use a function called date in cell D20, and to do so, select the D20 and then go to Formulas tab, and then in the function library group, click on the more or the drop down menu, and then look for date. Well, actually date happens to be most commonly used function, so it's at the top. So click on date, and then we have 3 arguments: the year, month, and day. It's very simple. Basically, you want to put the year, let's see, they want, I'm looking at page number 54, step number 1, 1E, that is. Let's see. So they want year 2012, and then which month? The month is 03, that's March, and the day will be 12, and that's it. And so that's March 12, year 2012. And you notice that the total number here is 40,980. So you may wonder what that is. Well, Excel starts the year from 1900, 0900, and that's the beginning of the Excel's year. So if you calculate that, let's say 40,980, and let's figure it out what that means. So let's say I'm going to divide that by 30, that's for months, and then divide by 12, how many months in a year, and calculate it, and that's 113 years, period 833. So that'll be sometime in August, but just that's a rough. So basically that's from the year 1900. Of course, not every month has 30 days, and there's a leap year and things like that. So roughly speaking, that is the number of days. 40,980 is the number of days since the year 1900, January 1st. Anyway, go ahead and click on OK. So it enters the date, but notice that it's different from the way you enter directly. So if I were to enter 3/12/2012, notice that it enters the actual numbers and slash and so on. So that is different from that. Okay, so that's why. But anyway, we'll see why it is important to use the function instead of just numbers and slashes later. Okay, let's fill it up the rest of the column here. So I'm looking at stem number 3. They want D21 to be March 19, 2012. So let me go back. Date and time, and date. And again, the year is 2012, and it is March, that's 09, and the date is 19, and click on OK. And this time, you can do the same way, date and time, and date, but let's do a little bit more bold. We'll say, using the formula bar, equal sign, and then date, and you will see this menu, drop-down menu. So double click on date, and you get to have an equal sign, date, open parenthesis, and then you have little suggestions here, year, month, and day. So what year is this? It is 2012, period followed by comma, and the month is 03, then comma. I'm just following this guideline here, and the date would be 26, and then close parenthesis and hit the enter key, and that's how you can enter the same formula. Okay, so let's do it here again, equal sign and date, and then double click on the date function, so it sets it up. So year 2012, comma, April is 04, comma, date 2, close parenthesis and hit the enter key, and there you have it. Alright, so now we're going to calculate the due date. So here's number of, I guess that's number of days and so on. So in F20, we are going to calculate the due date with an equal sign, and then D20, I'm just using the point and click method to create a formula, and then E20, and then hit the enter key. So let's take a look at it. Oh, did I say minus? No, that's minus. I went backward. So I need to change the minus sign to plus sign. Okay, that looks better. So here, Archway Systems purchased that amount on this date, March 12th, and we gave them 30-day term, so it means that they have 30 days to pay in full, otherwise we'll charge them extra fee. So March 12th, 30 days plus would be April 11th. So that looks good. So we'll do autofill, and let's take a look at this. So March 19th, we'll give it 15-day, and that's April 3rd, and so on. So that's good. All right, so let's move on to step number 5, A26. They want you to type your name, so I'll put my name, hit the enter key, and then let me just hit the enter key a few times to go down. And then in A27, we're going to put another function called now function. So with the A27 active, go to the formulas, and in the function library, click on date and time, and go down to now function. Click. And now function is kind of a unique in a way because it doesn't take any arguments. Because now is now, and it basically gets the time from the computer. The computer has a clock in itself, inside itself, and it gets the time from the clock. So it's automatic. And go ahead and click on OK. Or if you want to, you can click on the help on this function and take a look at how it works. Anyway, go ahead and click on OK. And it gives kind of a full time. So that is April 16th, which is today's date, and 2013, and 9:38 a.m. So you may wonder, do I really want to keep this like a time? Well, maybe, maybe not. Because if you actually, like for example, you are a car rental place, they want to keep track of not only dates but also time as well. So you may want to keep it that way. But if you want to just show just the date, you can just go to the Home tab, and then click on More button here for the number formatting. And then formatting cells, we'll go click on date, and you can choose different types of way to display the date. So currently we have month / date / year, so let's find that. So that's the format, and here's an example, and go ahead and click on OK. And it changes the display of it. It doesn't take away the minute and hour or anything like that. It just changes the way it is displayed. Okay, and that's the end of project 3.